And then you want to go underneath and then bring out the slice like that. And there is our cherry bomb, or our ice cream cake. Hello, I'm Chef Don McMillan. Welcome to Simple and Delicious Recipes. You know, I write a lot of different stories, and one of the things I like to say is that every recipe has a story, or maybe every story has a recipe. In my case, this particular one is an ice cream cake I'm going to make, and it is identical with the one that we made in 1980 at the Olympics at Lake Placid. I was in charge of the food service there. Herb Brooks was the coach of the U.S. Olympic team just before they won the gold medal. They already beat Russia. This was when they were playing Finland for the gold medal. And he calls me up. He says, there's a good chance we're going to win this thing. We're going to have a party tonight. We don't want to have any outside people, namely the press. If you could promise to do this dinner for us, we will sign anything you and your staff has for us to sign. And of course, that held true. I was getting phone calls all the time. In any event, that night we made a wonderful dinner, and for dessert we made a cherry bomb. No, not the cherry bomb that you ignite on the 4th of July, and not the cherry bomb that you like to drink at your favorite watering hole, but an actual cherry bomb with an E on the end, dessert, okay? So I'm gonna make that for you today. We're going to go ahead and put all the ingredients together, and then to make it just perfect, we're gonna coat it with some chocolate, right? So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so to get started, I have some, these are just delicious cherries, okay? They're came in a jar. I drained out the juice. I retained it because I'm gonna use a little bit of the juice when I mash it into the ice cream. And I'm not just using any ice cream, I'm using the original vanilla ice cream because you can see the vanilla beans in there. I let it set at room temperature for a little while because I'm going to refreeze it. Breyers is the #1 selling vanilla ice cream, and what they did that other people did not do is they said that we're going to leave the beans in there, and when they did that, they became #1. They beat all those other brands, and they're still #1 vanilla ice cream in the United States. Okay, little history on that. I love food trivia. All right, ice cream. I didn't let it melt completely, just enough that I can mash it in there, right? All right, let's mix it up. Oh, doesn't that look good? Let's put just a little bit of cherry juice in there. I don't want to dilute it too much, because what we're going to do next is we're going to place it into this bowl, and then we're going to place a cake layer on top of it, freeze it, and then after it will get solidly frozen, I'm just going to cover it with this layer of melted chocolate. Oh man, is that ever going to be so good. So we did this dessert for our 1980 Winter Olympic hockey team that won the gold medal. And when they did that, we had quite a celebration for the athletes and the families. And yes, they signed all the posters, hockey sticks, whatever we had that wanted to do. Herb Brooks stood right by the table and made sure every athlete signed it before they could sit down with their family and friends. Thanked us. I've got some great pictures. You can look at my Facebook listings, Chef Don McMillan, and you'll see some of them on there. Okay, I have great memories from that wonderful event. There's our ice cream. Let's put this off to the side. And what I did is I took a cake. I made sure it fit the bottom of the bowl. And then, of course, I made it solid like that. I'm going to take it upside down, place it, push it in lightly. and then we're going to let it freeze. And I did use parchment paper, so that's important if you don't want it to stick. Let's place it right in there. And we're not too concerned what the bottom looks like, because once we pour the chocolate on the top, it'll all be in there and your guests will just love it. All right, now this is ready to go into the freezer. We've had this in the freezer. I don't know how your freezer would particularly work. It could take 6 hours, could take even overnight if your freezer's not good. Our freezer's -2, so it didn't take quite as long. But what I did is I put some warm water in the bowl, and all I want to do is just kind of loosen the ice cream up, and then we're going to place it on here and put it back in the freezer again, because it will get soft. Let's see, I need a little more water in there. I'm just using hot tap water. I wouldn't use boiling water, but just enough to loosen the ice cream on the bowl. And I'm not going to submerge it. Please don't do that. If you do that, you'll be very sorry. But we will need to put it back into the freezer again, because that ice cream that is here is going to soften up just a little bit. All right, just a little bit more. And I'm going to get a knife and go around the edge. All right, it came out. See how I told you, you want to put it back in the freezer, because there's a little bit of melted in there, and we can't put the chocolate on there yet, but we will very shortly. All right, in the freezer it goes. Now is the time to make the chocolate covered, the glaze, to really make this thing perfect. So to do this, we're going to use some chocolate. I like to use semi-sweet chocolate. You can use milk chocolate. I'm using the chips, and I'm going to use my microwave oven. I'm going to give you a very important tip. I think the microwave oven, besides being made for popcorn, okay, that's agreed, is made for melting chocolate. I used to melt chocolate over warm water, and that took quite a long time to do it, and I'd always mess up one way or the other. However, putting it into the microwave oven made it so easy. The key is never more than 30 seconds. 30 seconds, even if it takes you a minute and a half. 30 seconds stir, 30 seconds stir. Why? Because when you use the microwave oven, it doesn't look like the chocolate is melted, okay? And your eyes will fool you, and your mind will say, oh, it's not ready. 30 seconds, trust me. All right, now that I said that, we're going to use some sugar, but in the sugar, we're going to use syrup. I'm using clear syrup. I'm going to need 3 tablespoons. This is going to help make the glaze. 1, 2, 3. I'm using 9 ounces of chocolate, and I'm going to make a little white swirls on the top, so why not use a little bit of the white chocolate. So now that I put the syrup in there, I'm going to use butter. Now, I've also used salad oil. That works as well, but of course we always know butter makes it better. A little butter in there, and I've cut it up into smaller pieces, so just put it right into it. The fat is also going to help, because we're mixing fat with fat. Obviously the chocolate is fat as well. Okay, now 30 seconds. Check this out. I kept some chocolate on the side. This is going to help to temper it. Should it look like the chocolate might be breaking a little bit, we can add a little bit of more chocolate to it and bring it back. In any case, we'll add it to it at the end. 30 seconds. All right, taking it out, and I want to show you what I mean. Look, you'll look at that and say, oh, chocolate's not melted. Check this out. Look, Did you see that? Did you see that? It is melted. I'm going to stir that butter into the chocolate. 30 seconds. All right, I'm going to come back and do this again. But 30 seconds and 30 seconds, or you can do it even less, 15 seconds, depending how powerful your microwave is. But trust me, do not put it back in. Oh, it's not melting. I'm going to put it back in again. No, don't do that. In fact, this time I'm going to do 15 seconds. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so this was 15 seconds, and look, it's just dissolved. I'm going to add in the rest of the chocolate now. So I'm tempering it and just stir it. You know chocolate melts in your hands, right? Okay, that's that famous ad for M&M's. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands. Well, in this case, we know chocolate will melt in your hand, so be very cautious about it. If you're ever going to be cautious, be on the side of less, and this way you won't have to worry about it. So sometimes when your chocolate would break, you can add a little bit, a teaspoon, boiling water, and it will come back, but not every time and not over and over. But look, I'm just doing a little bit more stirring because it was warm and it's melting the chocolate. And that's why I'm looking for a nice glaze. Look, isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm gonna set the white chocolate off to the side because now we're ready to glaze our ice cream cake. Okay, I took the cake out of the freezer. It's frozen. I'm going to pour my chocolate right over the top and just let it flow, you know, right in there. It'll just flow right down to the side. Yes, that's why I put the parchment paper underneath to catch. I'm shaking it just so it distributes and has an even flow on it. Okay. Alright, I'm going to place this back in the freezer. It's going to get hard, maybe 4 or 5 minutes tops. Alright, the chocolate covered ice cream cake in the freezer just a little while. Just enough time for me to go ahead and melt the white chocolate. I'm going to start with 15 seconds and then work my way up. I have a smaller quantity, and white chocolate is very temperamental. That's definitely want to have this off to the side so we can temper it as we're going along. Alright, it's been 15 seconds. Again, you'll look at it, it doesn't look like it's melted. But as soon as we start stirring it, look, it starts to melt. It smells like marshmallows, you know. Pretty nice. Alright, it does need more time, but I just wanted to do that. So this has been all of 30 seconds, 15 and 15. You give it a good stir, get that syrup mixed in with the butter, and we'll put in the rest of the chips. Alright, I'm just going to keep stirring this and then get soft. Maybe put it back in the microwave for about another, I'm going to do like 10 seconds. I think it'd be enough. Let's go ahead and place it right here. Great. I have our white chocolate, and what I did when it came out, I just put in there about a teaspoon of boiling water, and look, it just came up pretty good, just like that. I'm going to put it into my pastry bag. When you put it in a pastry bag, you also want to make a cup like this, and then just go ahead and put it right in there. We're going to make some little marks on top. Give a little design. You could, happy birthday if you wish, or any of those appropriate things. You could even decorate it with some leaves, like mint leaves would be nice, or some, maybe some cherries would also be good. Alright, so I made pastry bag, and the way it works, you just use your thumb and forefinger and squeeze down. Give it a twist so it doesn't come back up again. And then we just make some little marks on there. So this is just some white chocolate. As I said, you can be as creative as you wish. You can even do some flowers or anything like that. It would be fun. So, you know, when we do these things, it's always fun, it's always simple, always delicious. So, this is our recipe, and this is the recipe that we made for the 1980 Winter Olympic team, the hockey team that won the gold medal. When they won the gold medal, this was their gold medal dessert, okay? So, it's a cherry bomb. You could call it other things. Ice cream cake works just as well. So when you are down below, sign up for Patreon. We need your support. Hit the subscriber button. If you haven't done so already, definitely give us a thumb up. And if you have some comments, love to talk to you about it. If you've got some information about the Olympics, I'd love to talk to you about that. That was one of my best subjects. We actually, two Olympics, 1980 Olympics and also the 1996 Olympics. We were involved in that as well. Love to share some information with you on that. Okay, so I'm going to cut a slice, and what I did is took my knife, ran it under some hot water, tap water, give it a little bit of a wipe, and then we'll go ahead and slice like that. Do the same thing again. Sometimes you can have it like a little pitcher of hot water at your side to do that if you're going to make multiple slices. And then you want to go underneath and then bring out the slice like that. And there is our cherry bomb, or our ice cream cake. And as always, you want to remember when you're cooking with Chef Don, it is simple and delicious.